Conversations with no expectations. That's what I was saying to you. Yeah. When you have conversations with no expectations about getting numbers. That night I went out, got a beautiful girl's number, then took her out. Since then, I've had great luck. Not 100% success, but a lot of dates. Yeah, that's what you got to start doing. Yeah, conversation without the expectation. A lot of guys that try to pick up girls in public, they have the end goal in mind immediately of I'm going to get this girl's number, or how do I steer this conversation into getting a girl's number or something like that. So I'm glad the advice worked for you, man. You got to just have a conversation without the idea of getting a date or a number at the end of it, as a genuine conversation. And then within that genuine conversation with no intention, the girl will sense that you don't have intention. So she'll be more comfortable talking to you. And then once you see that, then she'll give you the hint that maybe you should ask for the number before you go. But a lot of guys go into it with the idea that they're going to get a number or a date or drop the question at the end of it. But yeah, you got to go in without intention and then capitalize on a sign that you might see during the genuine conversation. But that's good advice. So I'm glad it worked for you, man. Thank you for the $10. Appreciate that. A dream of you where two fans in their youth approached you and asked to play football and you said, no, watch my channel vid with Little Hap. Okay. You know what I had a dream of yesterday? Matt Favola was in my dream yesterday. Just for a split second. I had really weird wake up, go back to sleep dreams yesterday. And in one of them, the last one, Matt Favola was in it. Because I was just watching fights of his for the card, the Paris card. I just made the predictions before the stream now. No, not. He was trying to get into my gym and he wasn't allowed in. And then I was like, wait, that's Matt Favola. And he went, and I went, steamroller. That's all I remember from the gym, from the dream. Sorry. He was like outside the gym as like a fan, basically. I don't know what it was, but he was like, I don't know what he was doing in it, but he was like, there was these like barricades and he was over there with his phone. I was like, that's Matt Favola right there. And I hit him with a steamroller. I remember it from the dream. I don't know why. Wow, that didn't take much for you guys to call me over that. Just a person appears in your dream. That makes me, does it? I was literally watching his fight with Jalen Turner before I went to bed as well. And this fight with Armand. About, dude, I appreciate the truth. Adesanya mogs me. He actually doesn't. He didn't look that big against DDP. I'm probably a bit taller than him. I think Adesanya is like 6'2", honestly. Maybe when I look back, but watching it at first, I was thinking, yeah, he should have won. Second and third round, right? I thought he could have got it. What's Okoye's IQ? I don't know. He's just... I tell you this, some people on MMA YouTube can't make it in the correct take niche. I know I just had a really bad take to a lot of people, but I think there's an argument. A lot of people can't make it on the correct take niche, so they have to find of the community, which I kind of did for a bit, but now I've got a bit more. But the same with MMA Joey. Like, there's only room for so many people having the same takes. That's what I mean by it. I didn't mean the rest of it. Let's just say that. There's only room for a certain amount of people to have the same takes. Someone's got to have the other takes. You know what I'm saying? And that's him, I guess. Smack that all on the floor. Genuinely want to know how the fuck Saudi Amato and Chris Lee end up judging for every important fight ever. I think it's nepotism. They probably have dads in the commission. That's what I would bet it is. They are shit and we need more judges in the roster. It's true, yeah. You know what I think you guys should do? You know, if you're in the chat right now and you have no idea what you want to do for a living, try and be an MMA judge. I bet you barely fucking anyone actually pursues that. There's going to need to be new judges someday. You guys need to start aiming for jobs that you would assume that you wouldn't even assume people would go for. Why don't you go to an MMA judging course? You know what I mean? Even on a regional scene, it'd be way more fun than a regular job. So I don't know. There's nothing to do with what you said. Of course, those judges are horrible, but sometimes you don't think about these niche jobs that no one's actually going for. You know what I'm saying? It'd be way more fun to sit there cage side, score some regional fights. You sound like my dad. I know, it doesn't work like that. Okay, just fucking do nothing with your life then, Jon Snow. Thanks, mate. Retard, dude. Try and do niche jobs that could be fun that you wouldn't even think of doing. Everyone always thinks at the highest level of things, you know? Well, if I'm not going to be a UFC champion, then I'll never have a job in MMA. Maybe you could be a ref on the regional scene. I bet you no one applies to do that. Might get paid quite well. Connections, you know? Is there a Mrs. Guru? No, I've never had a girlfriend, but I've dated girls. Thank you for the $2. Appreciate you. How does that work? Never had a girlfriend, but dated girls? The fuck are you? What do you mean? How does that not work? Like, I've been on dates with women. I'll say women because, yeah, you're right. That does sound sus. People say girls all the time now. But I've been on dates with women, but I've never, like, committed to a relationship with them. The fuck? I'm busy. I had to sort this out. I had to get this up and running, dude. If I had a girlfriend, I'd have no free weekends. I wouldn't be able to maintain the relationship without her 100% cheating on me. Every evening, every night, I'm doing this. Every Saturday, I'm watching the UFC. We ain't going out nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I got focus on this. And then, you know, maybe I have a girlfriend later. Would you box Sam Sulek for a check? Thank you for the $5. Wouldn't it be epic to see Conor sleep his lamb in front of Khabib if they ever fought? What a way to end the Dagestani reign in the UFC. God, it would be great. I've already had this wet dream. I mean, I've already had this imagination before of the shot of Makhachev sinking to the canvas, and it's Khabib's face like this, like happy because he's doing well, and then he gets slept. And as Makhachev's face, out of focus, goes in front of Khabib's face in the corner, his smile goes from like that as the body falls in front of him in the foreground of the shot. You know what I'm saying? So as Makhachev's starting to like enter the screen of him falling down, it's a shot of Khabib in the corner. You see Makhachev go down in front. He's like, because Makhachev just landed a shot, and then Mcgregor sleeps him with a counter punch, and then you see as the thing goes past, like that. And then, like, someone throws a chair at him from the crowd and it hits him in the back of the head and he goes, ah. And then Umar's like, oh, and then they drag Umar and Umar, like, just disappears into the crowd, getting dragged in. And then everyone starts jumping at the fucking shit out of him, kicking him on the ground and shit. And then he starts trying to climb the cage into it. And someone grabs his leg from the crowd and drags him back down like he ain't going nowhere. And he, like, hits his face on the side. This is the great stuff. And then they start on him and shit. And it's like, oh shit, dude. And they turn all the cameras off in the UFC and you start getting like crowd recordings of it. And he's like, yeah, that blood is not blood. And everyone just on him and shit and kicking him in the face, spitting on him and shit. I'm joking. I don't care. And then he starts to complain to like a security guard, and then the security guard pulls out a baton and just fucking starts doing some fucking real old school justice on him. Fucking get the fuck off me, you fucking prick, and hitting him, and he's like got nowhere to turn to. And he runs out of the arena and starts pleading with the police, and they just fucking tase him straight in the face. And they say, stop resisting and get a gun. You know what I'm saying? I'm joking. And then DC's trying to calm people down, and then someone throws like a plate of like food at him. And just fucking hits him straight off the head, and like whatever type of like stadium food they have just starts getting thrown at DC, and he starts catching them and shit, trying to carry them and run out with them. And then someone does that thing where you kick their rear leg out from behind them as they're running, and it like hits into their front leg, and they just fucking face plant, and he spills the food everywhere. And he starts going, and starts to try and grab at the food that spilled in front of him, and they drag him by his legs back into the arena, start jumping on him and shit. That'd be sick. And then, like, you think you see Umar in the crowd because you can see his head, and then it's just his head, and you see people like throwing arms and legs up and around the crowd, you know? But you think, oh my God, it's Umar. He's safe. He's in the crowd. And then it's like, and it just falls off. And they start throwing arms around and legs. They've like pulled him apart in the crowd, basically. And then Marab like has an aneurysm at home or some shit. I don't know. Somehow he dies. I don't know. I'm only joking, guys. Like zombies? No, not like zombies. Like the you know the things from Night, not the things, the guys from Night in the Museum, the Mongols, Mimikaka, Pipikaka, and they start wanting to pull each other. That type of shit. And then Shavkat looks down and goes. And then for some reason, Bilal gets searched because he's like, they think he's involved. And then they get really rough with him, you know? I don't know. There you go. Anyway, donations. Why are fat kids always the drummer in the band? I'll tell you maybe, but I feel like that's not true. Fat kids are always the singer. But if you want capped delts, drummers, dude. Learn how to drum and take a few lessons a week. I think that's why I have naturally capped delts, even without working out shoulders, ever. I swear to God it is. It's like you're hitting a speed bag. If you want capped delts and you're young now and you don't want to have to work too hard on it, drum. Learn how to drum. It's fun and you'll get really toned shoulders. I swear to God you will. Wrist strength too, yep. They're not. But seriously though, it's not. It is genetic, yeah, but like you can get them like really toned shoulders from drumming. Can you drum? Just joined? Yeah, I did drumming for a long time. I'm pretty good. I haven't done it in ages, so I actually want to start again, but I don't want to be that cunt of a neighbor with a drum kit, you know what I'm saying? Because no matter how quiet you try and be, you're just that cunt with a drum kit. Schmitty is Peter Griffin. I don't like these ones, dude. You're annoying me already. Schmitty is Peter Griffin crying about not coming to the party on the podcast. Yeah, I wasn't invited to the party. I don't know how to do the impression. When you do someone as someone, it just isn't funny. You might as well just say Peter Griffin crying about not being invited to the party. You're ruining everything, Robert Bonsley, and you're one donation away from being fucking permanently banned. I don't care if you're paying. One fighter to get brutally KO'd next fight, pick-wise. John Jones.